Stand by. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Black.
Live. This is News Channel 8 at 8 on Rate 38 on your side.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Carter. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Stop.
It clearly appears to us
Too much force.
that Brian used too much force.
Yep.
A Polk County man is facing charges tonight
Second
for
three.
shooting and killing a 19-year-old at an apartment complex.
Rod.
It's a bit of a complicated story. Deputies say 25-year-old
Justin.
Brian Medeiros shot and killed the 19-year-old who they say was on drugs and acting erratically. The sheriff says the suspect was not standing his ground in this case, that he actually pursued this victim. In your side, Justin Shecker joining us now live in Davenport to sort all of this out for us. Justin?
Justin's up full. Cue.
A complicated case indeed, Rod. Good evening to you. That suspect who lives in this apartment complex will be spending the night in the Polk County Jail. The sheriff says the victim's bizarre behavior didn't warrant being shot multiple times.
136.
Florida's standard ground law states a person's use of deadly force can be justified to prevent imminent death or bodily harm.
People who do not understand the stand your ground law will end up arrested because they misjudge what it means.
Before Sheriff Grady Judd says 25-year-old Brian Medeiros shot and killed 19-year-old Divine Pritchett from Orlando, deputies were already en route to the landings at Four Corners apartment complex in Davenport early Sunday morning. A resident walking his dog called 911 after an altercation with a teen who trespassed on the property and was acting strangely.
Q&A with
Wearing a
Justin.
pair of shorts.
Soto, if you
No
want to push
shirt,
back the
and only had socks
trim.
on.
The sheriff says the suspect, Medeiros, retrieved a handgun from his car and put it in his waistband. Instead of going back into his second-floor apartment, the sheriff says he followed Pritchett, who went up to the third floor.
He's looking for him to engage him. And number two, when the dude's got his pants down to his mid-thighs, it's evident he doesn't have a weapon at all.
Of a firearm.
The sheriff tells 8 on your side, Medeiros shot the victim multiple times before he stumbled down the stairs and died.
He was on drugs. He shouldn't have been in this apartment complex.
Stand by back to Shecker.
But we don't see a level of violence that's articulated to my satisfaction that warrants the use of a firearm.
Shecker.
And the sheriff says deputies are still sorting out whether the suspect will be charged with manslaughter or second-degree homicide. Rod?
Well, Justin, does this shooting suspect have a criminal history?
The sheriff says no, but deputies have learned he's been involved in 2 past incidents involving a gun. In one case, Roddy actually shot his brother back in 2017, but that situation, unlike today, was ruled self-defense.
All right, Justin Shecker for us in Polk County tonight. Justin, thank you.
Full screen.
And of course, you can watch the entire interview with Sheriff Grady Judd right now on the WFLA app. A lot of rain across parts of the Bay Area today after a really hot day today. Take a look at the skies over Tampa Bay earlier this evening. Quite the light show and rain that we got out there tonight. And then take a look at this as well. This was over in Brandon. You can see rain drenching a pool area of a home there. Just a messy afternoon for parts of the Bay Area. Let's get checking our forecast now from Storm Team meteorologist Ian Oliver. It's nice to break up the heat though with some of that rain.
Yeah, Rod, good evening. Pretty wild Sunday, as you mentioned. Temperatures were up near records this afternoon. 95 in Tampa. The record was 96. That was set back in 1991. That was until the storms rolled in, cooled things down. But these storms were fairly potent. We saw some wind gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour. Lots of lightning with these thunderstorms.
I can't even do that right now.
Most of which is pushed offshore out into the Gulf. But we got some thunderstorms.
I don't know
Coastal areas still in Hernando County. Good amount of rainfall from Pinellas stretching down into portions of southern Hillsborough, Manatee, and Sarasota. And inland areas still seeing some isolated thunderstorms through parts of Polk County right over I-4, southern parts of the area, and that does extend down into portions of Highlands County as well. Forecast model shows as we move through what's left of this evening, the rain slowly starts to erode. Skies eventually turn partly cloudy during the overnight hours tonight. And the day started tomorrow likely similar with that sunshine. That's a look right now in Newport Richey. Look at the rainfall gauge there, 1.11 inches of rain. That was thunderstorms that rolled on through. I'll have a much closer look at your Labor Day forecast and look at that.
What was
Poor
that?
shot there, Rod. Sorry, I want to show you some of that line lightning from that other picture.
Well, look
and
at
that's
this.
even more impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is pretty good stuff.
What
This
is
is a
he-
surprising shot from Pinellas County, actually. The viewer sent us
He
this
paused.
photo.
He's like, look at
And it
that.
shows both a
lightning.
rainbow and a lightning strike at the
Unbelievable.
same time at the Dunedin Causeway. Viewer John Wagner sent this picture in for us, and he says that he took this about 6:30 this afternoon as those storm clouds were starting to move in. It's been quite an interesting day. All right, while Labor Day weekend officially does mark the unofficial end of the summer season, it still feels like the dead
Still
heat of
past
summer here in
58
Tampa
seconds
Bay, with
standard up.
temperatures in the 90s, well, at least as Ian mentioned, until those rainstorms pulled in. As Exercise Megan Gannon tells us tonight, some Bay Area families tried their best to beat the heat today.
Labor Day weekend is a chance for many to have fun in the sun
We're gonna do the pool. We're gonna do the pool
We'll do the
today.
beach tomorrow.
and enjoy a long weekend.
Liz,
It's pretty boring.
For
Right.
Jessica
The second
Cruz
banner
and
in this
her family,
package, can
they
you delete the
decided to
Hillsborough
beat
County,
this horrid
please?
heat
Yes.
by taking advantage of the splash pad at Carrollwood Village Park.
Because it's super hot and we're not going to the beach today, we figured we'd stop by the park.
This splash pad has been closed since March due to the pandemic, along with skate parks and playgrounds at Hillsborough County parks, but they all recently just reopened.
Wait,
Like, I'm a little bit apprehensive, right? Like, how do you keep the social distancing going? So we're gonna fill it out.
I saw
Maybe
that.
we won't be here too long at all. Maybe we'll do a little bit of walking more
Thank
so than just hanging out at the
Uh-huh.
water head.
And even though she's a little nervous,
Stand by camera two,
Jessica
yes,
says it's
Rob.
nice to have a change of scenery and have something that feels new.
We've been doing the pool a lot, but it's nice to actually
Stand it out.
get out a little bit.
Reporting in Hillsborough County, Megan Gannon, 8 on your side.
Megan, thank you. All right, we have some new information tonight about a
Stand by
paycheck
you.
protection program scheme with a Bay Area tie. Court records reveal Casey Crowther received more than $2 million worth of coronavirus money for his business in Fort Myers. Investigators say, though, he then used nearly $700,000 of that money to buy a 40-foot catamaran from Sarah Bay Marina in Sarasota. Neighbors who live near the suspect says the family owns several businesses. They also say they're not surprised.
I mean, it's not even something useful for his business or his property or anything like that, you know, it's really pure pleasure, I guess.
If convicted, Crowther could face up to 30 years in federal prison.
Stand by camera
In
two.
Manatee County, authorities found the body floating in the Manatee River. All right, take a look here. This was about 9:30 this morning. Bradenton police found the victim near Riverside Drive East. And officers have identified the
Full
victim, but
screen
still
map out
need to
of this?
contact next of kin, so they have not released a name yet. Right now, they do not believe that foul play is suspected in this case. A crash involving a motorcyclist in Pasco County turned deadly. Florida Highway Patrol troopers say a Lakeland man was driving on State Road 52. He was headed west with a pickup truck, I should say, when he pulled into the eastbound lanes to pass another vehicle. A motorcyclist driving east tried to avoid the truck, but the two vehicles ended up colliding and the motorcyclist died. The name has not been released in that case either. A truck overturned overnight in Clearwater and it trapped a man inside. This happened on South Fort Harrison Avenue. Police say that the victim is in critical condition tonight. The road was closed for more than 7 hours as crews from Duke Energy had to make some repairs there.
Bear with me, okay? Because you fit the description. I'm not saying you're guilty, but my sergeant's telling me to detain you.
A black man who was detained by Volusia County deputies while out jogging has now been offered a job with the sheriff's office. Former military policeman Joseph Griffin was jogging last week when a deputy stopped him for fitting the description of a burglary suspect. Well, deputies say that they were looking for a black man with a white tank top, dark shorts, and a beard. One deputy even offered to hold Griffin's phone while he was live streaming that interaction.
We appreciate you being very cooperative. Other people would just... I'm not trying to get a shot over this.
Griffin was freed 13 minutes later. The deputies expressed their gratitude toward Griffin for keeping a calm demeanor and then apologized for the inconvenience. The Tampa Bay Lightning are in Edmonton tonight. They are ready to play Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final tomorrow night against the New York Islanders. The National Hockey League released the bowl schedule today. Here is what we're looking at. Game 1 is tomorrow at 8. And then Game 2 is Wednesday, Game 3 on Friday, and Game 4 is a week from today. And don't forget, tonight at midnight, be sure to catch our Road Cup special. Dan Lucas and Karen Loftus will be right here to have a preview of the Eastern Conference Final. And you can watch our special right after News Channel 8 at 11 and, of course, Super Sports Center. Campers forced to run for their lives after a raging wildfire grows in California. We're going to take a look at this very dangerous situation that's unfolding there. And imagine being on a plane when you see fire coming out of one of the engines.
That's not good.
Take a look at that frightening moment. We'll tell you all about this scary flight coming up in just a moment.
3, 2, 1, Faith, Flex Online.
That
All right.
was good
Good
video.
job. Good job. 310 back.